Holidays are usually seen as joyful and comforting. They are associated with lights, food, music, and time spent together. But this version of holidays is relatively new and hides a much older purpose. Most holidays were not created to celebrate happiness. They were created to survive fear. Long before calendars and free time existed, people believed that certain moments in the year were unstable. These were periods when nature felt unpredictable, darkness lasted longer, food was scarce, and death felt closer. People believed that during these moments, the normal rules of the world weakened and that unseen forces could move more freely. Holidays were a response to that fear. They were not entertainment. They were protection. Early humans did not celebrate because they felt safe. They celebrated because they did not. Rituals were used to impose order on chaos and to create a sense of control in an uncertain world. Winter was especially frightening. Crops failed, animals disappeared, and survival was never guaranteed. Communities believed that during these periods, the boundary between the living and the dead became thinner. Spirits and ancestors were believed to be closer, and human behavior during these times was thought to matter more than at any other point in the year. This belief explains why so many holidays are surrounded by strict rules. What to eat, when to speak, when to stay inside, when to make noise. Noise played an important role in early celebrations. Drums, bells, shouting, and fire were not symbols of joy. They were tools. Silence was believed to attract attention from things that should remain unseen. Noise was believed to drive them away. In many cultures, loud celebrations were meant to scare something away rather than invite something in. Masks were not costumes for fun. They were disguises meant to confuse or intimidate harmful forces. Fire was not decoration. It was protection. Light against darkness, warmth against death. Another dark element hidden inside many holidays is the presence of the dead. Across cultures, people believed that certain holidays were moments when the dead returned symbolically. These were times when ancestors were closer and when respect was required. Food was prepared for them. Candles were lit. Empty places were set at the table. These actions were not performed out of kindness alone. They were performed out of caution. The belief was simple. If the dead were remembered, they would remain peaceful. If they were ignored, they might return uninvited. Remembrance was a way to maintain balance and protect the living. Some holidays were never meant to be shared. They belonged only to specific families, villages, or groups. Participation was restricted because tradition held that rituals only worked when performed correctly by the right people. Knowledge mattered. Mistakes had consequences. Outsiders did not know the rules, and ignorance was considered risky. That is why some celebrations remained closed and carefully controlled. Over time, as societies changed, fear turned into folklore. Folklore turned into tradition. Rituals survived, but their purpose softened. Masks became costumes. Fire became decoration. Noise became entertainment. Some holidays survived in gentler forms, while others disappeared entirely. They were not banned. They faded as people forgot why they existed. Modern holidays focus on comfort and positivity, but beneath them lies a foundation built on uncertainty and survival. Even the idea of the new year follows this pattern. The belief that time resets and that change becomes easier because a number changes is not scientific. It is psychological. Humans need symbolic boundaries. The brain understands meaning better than continuity. Holidays create artificial pauses in time. Moments where reflection feels allowed. Moments where change feels possible, even if nothing physically changes. People feel different after midnight, not because the world has changed, but because the brain has late hours shift attention inward. External noise fades. Thoughts grow louder. Reflection becomes easier. Humans have learned to assign meaning to that feeling. The brain provides the sensation, and culture provides the story. Holidays persist because they work. When millions of people pause together, reflect together, or celebrate together, the experience feels amplified. Shared emotion reinforces belief. Even in secular societies, holidays remain powerful because their psychological function still works. They mark Chimi. They organize memory. They give life a structure. Holidays are not just celebrations. They are tools. They help humans cope with uncertainty, time, and mortality. Today, people celebrate without realizing that celebration was once defense. They decorate without remembering that decoration was once warning. They gather without acknowledging that gathering was once survival. And even though the danger has changed, the human need for meaning has not. That is why holidays continue to exist. Not because they are joyful, but because they work.